Total Life Hackers. I wanted to get on and talk to you a little bit about marriage. So, this month we celebrated our anniversary, and it was our 23-year anniversary. And I was trying to think of some different things that we've done over the years to really help improve our marriage and to just keep things going and have a good relationship and things like that. So, my husband and I met in college, and we dated for about a year and a half before we got married, and we've been married ever since, obviously. But I mean, not that there haven't ever been any hard times, but I think some of the things that we have learned have really helped us to become closer and to eliminate some of the problems that can happen in marriage. And one of the things I was thinking about is first of all, from the scriptures, that 1 Corinthians 13, I mean, we've all heard this verse so many times, but it says, love is patient, love is kind. It is, and it goes on, right? But if we just stop there, even at the very beginning, and all of these things that we can do, but if we don't have love, it's not going to matter. First of all, love is not just an emotion, but it's an action. And so we have to remember, how are we acting toward our spouse? Are we talking to them in a loving way? Are we doing different things to show them love? One of the things that I think has helped us is understanding each other's love language, and that's by Gary Chapman. It's a book. You can also, there's one for children. There's a quiz online that's free. I highly recommend that because it really helps you in just relationships in general, learning how to care for other people. And so would be physical touch, and also words of affirmation. And my husband would also be physical touch. And so knowing that, that's important. There's 5 different types of love languages that they have, which is serving, physical touch, quality time, acts of service. No, I already said that one. Gifts and words of affirmation. Yeah, that's the 5. Sorry. You can go online, just look up love language quiz or something like that, and it's online. But you also recommend reading the book because it's a good book for understanding people. But from a biblical standpoint, we're to love everyone. And we all know that we're not perfect, right? We all know that we have a lot of struggles, right? And God is working in our lives if we're Christians, and He is trying to help us to become more Christ-like, and that's our ultimate goal, but none of us have arrived there yet. And I think marriage is about helping to mold us to become the people that God wants us to be. Thomas and I was already serving in the ministry as a youth and music minister, and and then God had already called him to ministry whenever we got married. We had no idea how our life was going to turn out. We just tried to listen to God step by step. So first and foremost, having a relationship with God and having the same values and morals has really helped our marriage be a solid foundation. So if you're someone dating, I would completely recommend that you marry someone who has the same beliefs as you, that has the same core values that you want to have in your family. That was one of the things that really solidified us in the beginning, and knowing that that's, I personally, I wasn't going to date anyone that wasn't a Christian. And I'm not saying that I didn't care for other people that weren't Christians, but that's not, I didn't think it would work, because Jesus was my number one, and I needed someone who also agreed with that. God's going to be first in our lives. The second thing I would say is, we, from the very beginning, said we're not gonna scream and yell and fight at each other. with each other. We're going to talk to each other with respect. We're going to not call each other names and put each other down. And I'm not saying that we have ever been perfect at this, but we really have tried to not do that. We decided a long time ago, no matter how bad things got, we were never going to fight over money. And to this day, I don't ever remember us, like, we've had concerns, like, we've talked about things and we've been frustrated over a situation, like, I don't know how we're gonna do this moment, like, together, but we were never, like, attacking each other over it, like, it's your fault because this happened. And even though it might have been my fault or his fault, but, I don't think so. For the most part, things just, like, life happens sometimes, and that's hard. You have medical bills or whatever, and you have to deal with it, and you figure out how to do it. And I think for us, we've grown a lot in that area of learning how to manage our money and finances in a better way, in a more godly way, which is one of the reasons why I do this channel, is because I want to help other people in their lives and just have much more peace in their life, because you are managing your money in a godly way, being a good steward of it, because it all belongs to God in the first place. And God wants us to use our time, our money, our relationships well, and He wants us to pour into each other. And so those are a few of the tips. And I would say one of the things that we have done over the last, I would say, 10 years, we didn't always do this early on in our marriage as we started having kids. But being intentional about spending time together, that's not just, without the kids around. It can be hard, I know, when they're younger, but you can always take a baby with you. And so, we have done it before the 10 years, but we've been more intentional about it. And I'm not saying sometimes you can't afford to do that, and I get that, and it doesn't have to be like during COVID. I remember us just like, and we had our kids plus foster kids, so we had probably 7 kids at one time. It might mean date night is in your bedroom with the door shut, and you feed the kids pizza that night, and you guys have a date night, movie night, whatever it is. Make it a little special. Bring out the fancy glasses or whatever it is. Just do something a little different and be intentional about it being a date night, and on a little bit of uninterrupted time, even though it's a little harder when you're at home, but still, it's possible. If your kids are old enough. I'm not saying, obviously, you have a toddler, you might have to wait till after they go to bed, or put them to bed early. It's okay to put your kids to bed early. I know I'm really bad about not always doing that, but it is okay. Sometimes, even if they're not asleep, you gotta stay in here. It's time to go to bed. Mom and dads need time together, and we need to teach our kids that if the door's shut, you need to knock, things like that. Just set boundaries for your family and for your marriage, and it will benefit your kids. The statistics are not great out there for marriages surviving, even Christian families, and I think a lot of it comes down to the value system, morals and values. What do you value? What does your spouse value? Are they not just walking through those things, saying it? Are they actually doing them? Because I'm a firm believer from the beginning. I remember there was a song DC Talk put out, Love is a Verb, But it's true. Are there actions when you're dating that person? And maybe I'll do a whole nother video on dating, but are they actually saying, I love you? Are their actions actually showing that they're a Christian or that they believe in God? Are they reading their Bible? Do you see them pray or try to lead you to God in prayer? God can honor all these things, and maybe you're not doing all of those things, but maybe those are some of the things that you can start incorporating to make your marriage stronger, to make it closer. God wants us to be one. He wants us to be on the same team and working together to fulfill and glorify Him. And that is part of marriage. It's part about bringing glory and honor to God too. And I just hope that some of you guys get a tip from this. But I showed a little bit of like what we did for our anniversary. I didn't show everything, obviously, just because we didn't want to have the camera on for every single second of every dinner or whatever. But just remember to love each other and to be kind. And we're over here about to ride the ferry, and all these cars getting ready. Big boat. I know, the cruise ship over there, that's cool. Oh, the cargo ship coming in. Submarine and naval ship. Oh, they put a nice playground over there.
That's a nice place to go. Looks like a fishing place too.
The birds are having fun. It's our anniversary. We rented this little bitty tiny house, beach house. Just want to take you in and show you what it looks like before it gets too messed up. Got the bed over there. It's basically like a studio. Really has everything we need. Can cook over here, and coffee, and refrigerator, and it has a couch, and there's a TV and AC, like a swivel so you can watch it from the couch or the bed, whatever. And bathroom, just shower, but that's really all we need. Gonna be going to the beach and stuff like that, and anyway, just a good little getaway, and kind of looking at what we've got going on here. Is the beach is that way and you can't see it, but that's okay. It's just like literally one road over, and you got beach access. The sun's about to set. It's so nice. You can see the moon. It's cool. It's going by the cloud right now.